The world is reacting to the death of rock legend Ozzy Osbourne, who has died aged 76. The legend helped pioneer both the heavy metal music genre and the world of reality TV with the 2000s hit The Osbournes.
And for more, we are joined by 7 News foreign editor Hugh Whitfeld and journalist Suzanne Mostyn in Canberra. Good morning to you both, team.
Morning.
Hugh, kick us off here. Ozzy, he truly made his mark across multiple generations.
Yeah, I think if you're not a fan of heavy metal music, which not a lot of people are, but it was the reality TV star Ozzy Osbourne that really put him to another generation of younger fans who got to know about his music and some of his story. It is quite remarkable how he lifted himself out of what was working class poverty in Birmingham, a very industrial city, a huge impact on his music of that dark life in a pretty grim place, let's be honest. Celebrated in Birmingham with that bench that sits on the bridge in Canal Street, right by all the nightclubs there in what is Britain's second biggest city. But a controversial life, and I think you probably can't walk away from that. That home life was pretty difficult at times, and obviously did some absolutely crazy stuff on stage as well.
Yeah, biting the head off a bat.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah. Suze, the music world has lost Ozzy, but of course his family have lost a husband, they've lost a dad. Sharon, the backbone of the family, and by his side until the very end.
Yeah, that's right, Cars. He was an enigma, a star, but also a deeply, deeply troubled man. And once he was kicked out of Black Sabbath in 1979, Sharon became his manager. She got him into a solo career. She kept him on the straight and narrow. But even then, you know, he tried to strangle her. He was violent with his first wife as well, Thelma, who he was married to for 11 years and had 2 children with, and a third he adopted with her. So this is a man who has reached the dizziest heights and yet has been quite down in the dumps, and also a very, very, as we said, violent past. He lent into that. He owned it. He was drug-addled. He was an alcoholic, and he admitted all of his flaws and credited Sharon with resurrecting him and giving him a stable life. So this is not a man who tried to shy away from any of that. It made the whole of the man. But Sharon really was the woman behind the rock star. And I remember sitting when I had a newborn and a 3-year-old in 2002 at home and being magnetised, just riveted with the Osbournes reality show. It was car crash television for its day. You could not look away. And Ozzy with his signature thing, he never knew what was going on. Sharon! Sharon! Yeah. Packing a pistol, arguing with the kids. He was entirely relatable, and I think that's where people, as Hugh touched on, really saw the man behind the myth and legend.
It would have been such a trying time living with Ozzy Osbourne, I think, seeing all of that. Team, moving on to more of this morning's headlines, and unions are making a new push for a 4-day working week and more annual leave in return for productivity gains. Suze, these types of proposals, look, they've been around for some time. Do you think we're finally going to see a 4-day week go ahead?
Well, I think it depends on the sector, on the industry. Not all industries can support that. But it's all about not working longer hours. It's about working more efficiently, smarter. So if you can increase productivity levels, because we need a boost of productivity in this country, and your employer is happy, then it's a very big win-win. You get a better life-work balance, but it's not for every industry. We're yet to crack whether this is going to be a popular move, but I think we're moving in that direction.
OK, Hugh, there's constant debate about whether implementing this type of system will increase productivity, or people will just keep working the same as they always have for those 4 days and having an extra day off. What do you think? Yeah,
I think productivity is a huge problem in our economy. You have to only look at today. There's a report out saying that 50% of the population relies on the government for their income in some capacity, whether it's through benefits or working for the public sector. There's this real battle always between the government and the unions. The government thinks productivity means you work harder but don't necessarily earn more money, and the unions think you get more money for not necessarily working harder. And it's a bit of a battle that is always going on as to just how hard you've got to work to make the whole economy function and whether your work is worth the money that it is. So a 4-day week is great, but how does it work in the whole system? Because what happens on Friday? Does everyone just stay at home and the whole town grinds to a halt?
I'll put my hand up to have Monday off. No one wants the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everyone's
going to keep the lights on for us.
But the union's proposing, instead of working 9 to 5, lets everyone work 8 till 6 to get the extra day, or not?
Which might work for some people,
Yeah.
and obviously flexible working arrangements have become a really big thing in the last couple of years, particularly with the pandemic and when people have got childcare issues and things like that. Childcare in itself is so expensive for people, so often it's easier to work from home and have the kids there as well. But they are battles that we are facing as a big economy that needs to grapple with these issues. The government wants to bring in universal childcare, and that may take the pressure off some, so allow people to go to work 5 days a week.
And still
We've
so
got to
many
fix the childcare centre for the childcare crisis first, though, Hugh.
Exactly.
And that's got to be really overhauled, structural review of that.
Yep.
We may just stick to the 5 days.
Yeah.
It's just going to be easier. Just like turn up and like work hard or something like that. Finally, psychologists have warned that certain compliments you give your partner could actually have a negative impact. Examples include, how are you always so calm? Of course, that just signals to your partner that they should stay silent and low maintenance. What else have we got? Another is, you're the only person I can talk to, which could indicate emotional dependence rather than intimacy. Oh, Hugh. Okay.
Oh, goodness, I don't know.
Good luck, Hugh.
Emotional dependence, Hugh.
Weigh in.
Yeah.
At your own peril.
I think compliments are always a good thing. I think you should be able to give your partner compliments and know your partner well enough to know what compliments land and what might be good at the right time. But that's what it's all about, is finding the right person for you, right?
Have you found that person? Hey, Suze, is there a compliment that comes to mind?
Well, I'm just worried. Carl's just read out my text to Riles. So I'm a bit, how do you stay so calm, sweetheart? How do you stay so calm, Mark? No, I don't. Look, you know what? As long as you're not love-bombed with compliments, because in the infancy of a relationship, you can, feel a bit flattered about that. But some people do use that to subjugate their partner's voice. And so you do have to be aware of the psychological implication of too much and not really necessary complimenting. We don't always want to be complimented for every single thing we do, and that's why we don't compliment our kids all the time, because then they just expect it and they don't change behaviours. But yeah, I think just be honest. If I see him and I say, God, you look gorgeous today, silver fox, and I also say, I don't need you to solve my issues. We sorted this out 30 years ago. I need somewhere to dump it. I need somewhere to put my mental load. So he's a fantastic listener, and I always say, you're a great listener. I don't know. I think you've got to be able to assess, as Hugh said, is this person the right person for me?
Suze, if someone said silver fox to me, I'll be like, I'm getting my roots done next week. I'm not necessarily sure silver fox is a compliment.
Yeah. No, it is. Well,
but it works for you.
We're both silver, sweetie. We're ageing with dignity. And if I pulled out every grey hair, like a lot of women do, I'd be bald. Just embrace it.
There you go.
Thank you, Suze. Thank
Love
you,
your
Hugh.
work, guys. Love your work.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Hugh.
Bye.
Thanks, Suze.